guys, so far the conversation has been amazing. Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sure this will encourage a lot of guys out there. Amen, by the grace of God. So now we're in the telltale end. Is that how they say it? Of our conversation. And I would like to know about your settling down as a couple.
Yeah.
You've done the wedding, now you're home and you're alone. Upon paleta, people stop calling you. Wanasema acha tuwapatie time.
Realness.
So now you're alone, the house is yours. You discover things about each other. So are there characteristics, like traits you didn't like, or traits that you didn't know you like but and you had not seen about Alex before, and Alex the same? Yeah.
Okay.
Cooking, go.
I wouldn't go to cooking fast. Our being home, coming home, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think because I think we had been home for a month without really activities. I mean, it would be visits here and there, but it wouldn't be as aggressive as now. Yeah. And so I remember we always told our friends, marry your best friend. Because then that's the moment to realize, kama nikuboeka na mse, ungeboeka na mse your time. Because I mean, let's just be honest, how much sex can you have? You can't have morning, evening. Yes, you can, but lazima muonge. Lazima. Kuna in between breaks. Hizo breaks mnadu what? So I think that's the time we were really realizing that we enjoy each other's company. Because Alex has introvert tendencies.
If you didn't know,
and people don't believe that.
That
sometimes he can just shut down and he's like, okay, I need time. So those are, if he was to break up with me, it would be nipatie nini na need me time. Or me time was like a thing that he would always be like, hey, we've hung out, I need me time. I need a break. Na sayo tu ni maybe a couple of hours, just a recharge to a Rudy. But so now he didn't have any of that in our first month, and I feel like that was really because of our friendship. Yeah. That there was the lover part and there was the hubby part, but there was the genuine friendship of we're going through life together and this is fantastic. So that was good. So then I think ikakwa sasa, I remember getting a thought, I think our second month, and I was like, Sadri ile process yote alipitia ruracio, then you stress yote alipitia wedding, amenileta hapa kumpikia, kumwoshea vyombo. Ndio, he's not helping me nioshe nyumba. Now all of a sudden I'm expectations are the house needs to be like this, or I need to eat 3 times a day, and then he goes to the gym, so 7 meals. But I think at some point I was like, if we didn't talk, I'd have been so bitter, because I was like, dude, honestly speaking. And then Jumko home, nani, you have the month to yourself. Yeah. Munakula every time, kuna dishes every time.
And
by there I was bitter. I called my best friend. I was like, you lied. This thing, it's not the way it's supposed to be, as in. And then now, so I have,
but you said,
but babe, but honestly, hata wewe ukiwa peke yako huko unapika hivyo sana. Baby, imagine tulikuwa tunapika nini? Tulikuwa tunapika breakfast, lunch na dinner. Hizo zote ziko na dishes. So hata kama nilikuwa najipikia singlehood, hata kama nilikuwa nipike, najipikia 1 meal na niso.
Mimi nilikuchapa disclaimer during dating, nikamwambia by the way, unaona wako upikangi uko sure? Kaniambia ai, si ni mimi.
By the way ilikuwa culture shock.
I got you.
By the way ilikuwa culture shock. What?
The first week it was fun cooking for my husband.
Oh yeah, I was like trying new recipes and like do exciting stuff.
My husband. Hey, too.
Pia wewe unaweza pika. Na vyombo at least. Zunzaidia vyombo. Oh man.
By the time the second month, the second month, nilikuwa naona fatigue. And then hatuko tumehave hiyo conversation ya helping each other.
Because then the way he's raised, amezoea kukua fafa wito, our dad anakaanga hapa, our dad anakulanga hivi, our dad anafuliwa nguo, good life. But so ameka marriage, asema Miss Babes will also like a king. My friend, I need help.
You must get sharing responsibilities.
What are those?
It's a new one.
And then me, I've been raised by siblings, so siblings tulikuwa tuna share chores. Ilikuwa ini wiki yako ya dishes, sawa, ini wiki yako ya kupika. Tuna share hivyo. So then tunaingia marriage ni sasa everything is on me, and yet there is another human being. No.
And then when I do it, there's a recognition I wanted of the king has gotten out of the throne
and
has
served.
decided
he has served you today.
to serve you today. So unafanya vyote na like it's normal. You're supposed to help me. So you want to dance.
Unataka nini? Thank you babe for washing our dishes.
So the adjusting was hard. Also there is the preconditioned mindset of, and it's there in your subconscious, but you don't know of what I've grown up seeing. But you've never spoken the expectation because you thought it's obvious. This is like duh.
I mean, people do this.
Like I've seen my mom wake up at 5 almost every day.
5 a.m. His mom wakes up at 5 a.m. every day. So Alex ameingia marriage antaka 5 a.m. wife. Namka nenda. First of all, siendi job. Namka nadu. I mean, I can only do house chores. Hata kama honestly nitamka nitaosha vyombo, alafu nikani kufua nifue kama ni kuosha nyumba, and then so 7 a.m. nadu. But then that thing really bothered me. I was like, dude, why would you? And he didn't say it that he expect you, but every morning he would leave the bed fast. And I'm not a morning person. In fact, I'm happy to do any, like 10 p.m. I'm alive. Like, let's start our day. But him, 7 a.m., 6 a.m., he's happy. He's like, babe, it's time. So now I'm like, I do what? I don't know what to do. And then now, honestly, the thing that you get me out of bed was because I knew he needed to eat. Like I knew at least that nimpatie breakfast. Hata kama narudi kulala. Akwe fed. Because then Alex anaweza amka. Ameamka sijui 7, amekaa mkuka hapa kwa kiti anani chill niamke. Na hati he won't wake me up or anything. Just by the fact I hear him. And if I wake up at 10, he's not eaten. Ati ameenda kitchen kujinini. Hiyo season ilikuwa crazy. We had to talk. I'm like, dude, hata wewe unaweza tu make your breakfast only na any morning person. Si utusaidie. Yeah.
I can call it the adjusting phase because it was adjusting from expectations to reality. And reality wasn't funny. Reality wasn't attractive.
No.
Reality was shaky. Because there's what you walked in expecting and there's what you're finding, and what you're finding does not mean that person is broken or something is wrong with them. It's just the fact that how you grew up doesn't have to be the how you do things. And you didn't grow up with this person, they grew up different, and just because it was different for them doesn't mean it was bad or wrong. It was just a system that worked for them. There's a system that worked for you. So you have to sit down and come up with your own system that now your kids will see you doing. It doesn't mean they will do the same. And our biggest challenge is culture, and what we've seen in culture of how things should be done.
And what they tell you.
And what they tell you, that a man should not work in the kitchen. You should not be in the kitchen. That's not a place. It's a place of a woman. And you're like, in this day and age, that's backward thinking.
But
and you can choose if that's what makes your boat float. Come on, by any means. Mimi wacha nikuwa na bypass nenda kitchen, mimi niko poa. Wewe unataka kukaa hivyo sawa, kuwa na overpass. But you realize by helping each other, you even bond more. Because it's in those sessions to kitchen tunasaidia na kupika and all that you realize that your friendship is growing and you're helping each other. Your story and stuff. And you realize that it's in that you find that it extends to other areas of your life. It extends.
You become a team.
You become a team.
In everything now.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest lessons I learned in our first couple of months was because I had Itara, and Itara is where I go to his home, and the women there to show me the home and how they live and what needs to be done and how to take care of your husband. And so in this sitting, my aunties, Alex's aunties are there, and they tell me, mwanaume ni umfeed vipoa, umpe sex. What was the other third thing? I don't remember the third thing. But ilikuwa vitu tu tatu. And I was like, okay, that's not hard to do. I can feed him both ways. And then what else does he need? And so I entered marriage with that mentality. And coming to find out, it's not enough. He needs more. I was like, bruh, no, that was not the plan. Iyo haikuwa kwa deal. Mi nilisign up for food and sex. And hiyo inafaa kukutosha. So then, tukikaa chini kuongea and he starts talking about acts of service. I'm like, what are those? Mi niliambiwa hivi. And now it's, Alex is different. Alex is not my uncles or his uncles or dad or the reverends or whoever. He's not those men. And I was like, now I need to be open-minded to, this is how Alex likes things. This is what, now I'm learning Alex afresh. I'm not learning Alex through the eyes of the society or through the eyes of mom or the aunties. I'm learning Alex through his eyes. And that was a difficult time to adjust, because by the time mina mfanyia vitu, I'm like, in fact, I'm doing the most. You should be very happy. Like, you should be really thanking me. And I'm like, you should be compensating me. And that was the giving part. And I think that was one of the biggest lessons that we had, was selfless giving. Because we would give because it's a transaction. I give you, you give me, we both serve each other. Yeah. So we realized that it's not a transaction. He doesn't give me, I give him. And it was hard to selflessly give. So it means me meeting him at his love languages. And it's acts of service, quality time. And acts of service is a big one. And most of the things that are his love languages in the acts of service, ni vitu mi sifanyangi. Ni vitu I don't know how to do. I have to learn how to do them. There are things now I have to love to do because they speak to him. Right? And it wasn't just enough to respect him and give him sex and feed him. It wasn't enough. There's more stuff. Now, giving him those things and him not meeting yet my love languages. I remember wondering, affection lienda hapi? And then he used to wonder, what is affection? Explain to me. And I'm like, if I explain to you what to do, then it wouldn't be affection, because utakuwa unafanya juu nimekuambia ufanye. So that was it was a crazy time. I think that was the time we almost called our marriage counselor to figure out, how do we do this? How do you selflessly give, yani? Because umsena shinanga nina come through. And then I think the mistake we used to make is, I would show him my love languages and I would love him through my love languages, right? So if I like gifts, I would get him gifts, but for him, that's not his. So I mean, they don't move him, but for me, I'm like, I'm loving you big time. Why are you not loving me? You know, I'm showing you I'm showing you exactly how to do it. So it requires a lot of unlearning and learning, and then it being okay that we are not the same. I shouldn't love him the way I love myself, and him the same. So
also by doing so, by attending to the love language of your partner, you fill a cup.
Yeah. And
when you fill that cup, you feel that, just because what's dominant in this season is because it changes, because you're still evolving and growing.
You can give practical examples.
You realize that for this season, that my love language is acts of service. Let's say cleaning the house. And then now you'll overdo it. And it's the only thing you're doing.
That's you just want the house to be clean.
How? So this makes you happy. I clean the house and I'm doing it with love. Mm-hmm. By the way, it's being clean, it's being clean.
But no, he still needs to eat.
But now there are others. Mm-hmm. There are other things that need to go. So it's not a one cup.
Like if I wash the house and not feed him or cook for him that day,
there'll be a gap.
Kutakuwa na gap.
Sikatai nyumba imeoshwa.
But
hey, are we fasting? I didn't know.
Atukula yuku. Yeah, as in there's those weird things. And then zina change na seasons. Because this season ni nyumba yoshwe, next season ni saa tunaweza ingia balcony. still kuona panga balcony. And I'm like, hey, bruh.
Now, when you pick up a new one, does not mean that all you ingine ya chalo nayo.
Yeah, like mine was cuddling. It was huge. I mean, Alex was like, I can do holding hands. I can do.
Well, hiyo topic was ipeleka hivyo.
But babe,
hiyo ni
tutaishi hapa tukiongea.
Wacha nikwambie. So I had a marriage, and when we were dating, she had what do you call it? A stuffed animal.
Yes.
Yeah. So alikuwa nayo.
A big
stuffed animal. So we come in marriage, Nini, and then
a human.
He's a human.
But the human's not holding me.
So mimi kuna vile najuanga, this is how I sleep.
This is where
there's a position.
The position he gets sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's a selfish position.
Mad.
Of sleeping.
Hey.
Face to the mattress. Spread arms.
It used to annoy me. Analala hivi. Udalalaje if I'm next to you, honestly speaking.
Arms, legs, sleep. That's how I know how to sleep. Then all of a sudden, there's a human being who needs to be cuddled. Oh my God. What does that even mean?
Hold me, baby.
And he hold me. So at first nilikuwa nakaa ni joke until it became serious. Yani ana insist.
Nilikuwa naamka nimejam.
Amejam na uza kwa nini?
The whole night ame face the other side. I'm like, so nilingia marriage nilikuwa nilala pia peke yangu.
Atunaweza nini anenda you didn't cuddle me. Nacheka jina. Msala uko 26. Ndakushiko ulale. You know, and it was an issue every single day when we wake up.
It was for a full month.
For a full month.
It was a fight.
That you didn't cuddle me, you didn't hold me, you didn't do all that. So I started coming up with a system. I mean, like, me tunaingia na kuhold haraka haraka.
So sasa anataka ikuwe hivyo. I'm like, really? Ama he'd hold me for long and he's like, see, imekutosha for the week. I'm like, what do you...
Malizana, tokens zila.
Ai.
So wewe namshika, nafika mahali namuuliza bado, uko sawa? You need some more?
So now I'm not even enjoying the cuddling because I'm sure iko karibu kuisha. I used to be so mad.
And then it would be awkward because umemshika hapo. Marriage. And then this was my argument. I would tell her that the whole day I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about what we will eat, what we will rent, natoka wapi, basic needs, what futuristic plans, everything. I'm thinking about it the whole day. Yeah. The only time that I am myself and I don't have to think about anything is in this bed
when I'm
sleeping. But you want me to still come and continue working.
Think about it.
The day was not enough. And so now it transitioned from cuddling now to my subconscious. That my subconscious is not awake.
Is not aware
is
that he's
aware
married.
That I'm married. We had an argument about that. And I'm like, how can I tell my subconscious?
You're married.
Because nimelala niko huko.
Kuna times ananigonga na elbow juu amelala hivi and that's the time I'm really so mad because and then he's facing the other side. I was like, surely ningebaki the ndegwa basi. Yeah.
We laugh now, but this was
it was a big deal. Oh yeah. Now he's a fantastic, like now he loves to cuddle me.
But you know how I got there? Mimi niliona hii kitu, by the kitu nilisikia petty issues can end marriages. Yeah. But I didn't know how petty they can be. Because to me nilikuwa na mama cut cuddling Mungu.
Marriage inaisha cha kukado.
This is an issue you cannot even tell your mom. I said ni kukado.
Oh man.
So I was like, okay, God. Now, it seems there's a muscle we have to build very fast. And
that was the first lesson of dying to self.
Because if this is genuine, not to high means this much, but to me means nothing. Yeah. What can I do to meet her somewhere? Yeah. And I'm like, this is the position that I've been sleeping for very many years, and this is how I get sleep very fast. Yeah. So you're telling me to first adjust my sleeping positions to accommodate you, So that means I'll suffer during the accommodation. That period of adjusting, I'll kuna usiku nakoze yeye anataka ni mkado mpaka yeye alale.
Nakukumbusha the fight we had, ukaniambia sio sitalala basi nitakuwa tu nakuhold. As in what? That's such petty fights.
So nikaanza tu day one unamshika amedrift off kulala, so unaanza kutoa mtukono yako pale. Ukiona hivyo na unarudishwa. Paka ikafika mahali sasa by default position is a cuddling position for sleeping.
But I had to get to a place also of being ready to let that go, because it was bringing a lot of friction. Even now it's not just nighttime, it's affecting throughout the day. So I think one day I just went for a walk and I was like, you know what, God, you either change him or you change me, but I'm willing to let go of it. I'm willing to let go of the cuddling thing. Like if it's not something that I need, imagine nitoe tu nikuwe nalala without him holding me. And I think me being willing to let go and him being willing to learn, it made us find a middle ground. So by the grace of God, now we have a perfect sleeping position.
In that issue, and another one that later came up, what I came to understand is that what seems petty, what seems like this person is not being reasonable,
this is ridiculous.
Is ridiculous. Try and approach it from their point of view. Go to their side of the court and be like, let me see things from this side. Why do you desire what you desire?
And even without the why, I mean, it's important to them, it's a big deal to them.
Approach it from that angle.
Because I remember for him, it was the sitting room needs to be tidy. Ata tukienda kulala. I'm like, there's one who's coming at night. Because sayo kuna fleece blanket, pillows ziko everywhere, to watch movie. Ondaka nipange. Tuende tukalale. As in, what is that? But then eventually it's a thing for him. So I was like, okay, sawa, to adjust. So that's the kind of selflessness that is required in, because otherwise I think you'll go crazy. Because if all of us hold on to even though mina kwanga, even though mina penda vitu zangu, then there's nowhere we are going.
Wow. So I think I will ask this question, like, what keeps you guys going? Like through the storms, through the harsh weathers, through hizo times una feel like si understand hizi vitu petty, what keeps you guys going?
I think because hata leo tumevurugana. So
before mkam hata sai ndo tuko poa. I think by the time natoka tutakuwa poa 100 because mkikama like
no unakuta tu vitu tu but what makes me even want to deal with those things is the friendship we have. So our friendship is what keeps us going. That you're like, I can't be mad at my friend the whole day, man. So let me deal with this thing, yani, because she's my best friend. So I need that friendship. So I have to go through the motions and all that so that I make sure that it's still because it's, we usually say it's us against everything. So if we are not okay, hey man, we'll succumb to other things.
I'd say the same thing. Friendship. As in we're legit boys before, like
boys before everything, anything, like, as in a day can go without saying I love you, but we've had a very good day.
We've laughed. I think even in some of the hardest things that we've gone through in terms of like even after the wedding season and money is a bit tight and we find ourselves, yes, it's crazy hard, but we have each other and we laugh. And by the grace of God, the friendship makes us like the same stuff, laugh at the same things. As in, that keeps us going.
And so now, after all is said and done, your experience and what you've learned through the journey of before your marriage and during your marriage, what advice will you give someone who really wants to probably get married or plan the wedding but they're in doubt? Because probably the financial situation is saying something different from what they're envisioning. So what advice will you give such a person?
I think I would say, men, men don't finance weddings. Weddings belong to God. It is God who saw that it's not fit for this man to be alone.
For sure.
So God saw the season had come for that man. So when God sees the season has come for you, trust you me, he is willing and able to provide for everything that pertains that process to where it's supposed to be. And even on the destination is not even the wedding. That's still another process you're going through. So he will always be there. So as long as everything sits right by you and God, don't worry about resources. God finances. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think we also really learned that our wedding, the way we handled our wedding, doing the project together, set a really huge foundation for us in marriage, because it's the same person. And how we both related with God, that also came into play in marriage. And I would say you have to put God first. It's his project. The wedding, I think we kept on saying the wedding is his project. The relationship, if you involve him from the very word go, he's happy to be a part of it. And he changes. Yani, you start seeing things going against what normally would go wrong. Zinaanza go the other way. And I think talk to God about even the smallest of things. This, like, even utter the person. And if you fear that, what if this person changes? You know, there's normally those fears of this person might change in marriage and they become, talk to God about that and tell him to reveal this person's heart to you. Every small concern that I feel like I faced, even in our relationship, because even in marriage, I mean, I remember a couple of weeks after then, I was like, God, I've never been a wife before. I don't know how to do this. So I need you. And I think there are things you go through and we realize, how do people who don't know God go through marriage? Because you need him. Because there's a dying to self that can only happen when God empowers you. There's a loving I can only give him when God pours it into my heart. And so, I mean, it goes without saying, you need God. Yeah.
I think what maybe I can add is that to the fellas, there is more to marriage than provision. And we have been so bombarded with provide, that's the only thing we do. And it transitions from your wife to kids. So in school fees. So you realize that there's another huge role that we have, also being a priest in your home. That the spiritual bearing of your family is under you. And if you realize that one thing I'm realizing about submission is that there's something that happens during that day of the wedding when the rights are passed over from the dad to the man. And there's a level of submission that a wife comes to that you can even propose, let's not go to church today, and she'll not be quick to object because she feels you've thought about it and you saw it is fit for us not to go to church today. And you will not go. By the hamtaenda church. Hamtaenda kanisa hiyo Sunday. And you do it next Sunday. Hamtaenda. Before you know it, you guys don't go to church anymore. And mind you, this lady alikuwa praise and worship leader. Na alikuwa devoted. Before you guys got married, she was so devoted. But because of the power you have as a leader of that home, by the way, hata yeye hajui mbona hapingi hiyo kitu, lakini amuendi. So it's just realizing that you have to put your emotions and feelings aside, and there's some things you need to deal with, and there's some things that have to be tradition. In that home, that no matter what's going on, family yake anze kujua that there are some things we don't joke with. When it comes to God, we don't joke with God. It doesn't matter how you're feeling. There's no feelings when it comes to salvation. There's no feelings when it comes to religion. And it's the same way, because now you've been given a girl. And that's why they are our girls. She's my girl, because there is a level of trust that ametupatia kama mzee, as the husband, that I believe that wherever you take me is safe. When you say we go this direction, I trust you. That wherever we are going, you've thought about it, you've contemplated, and you feel it is good for us. So I will not question. But the minute unafika mahali ameanza question is because there's something missing in your life. A woman only questions when your spiritual life is not okay. But as long as she knows it's okay, she doesn't question because she knows you're submitted to a higher authority also. Yeah.
Wow. What more can we say? On that bombshell note, we can wrap this up. It's been an amazing conversation. We want to thank you guys so much for opening up your home for us to come and hear your story. It's about midnight right now. We are still here. Just because your story is amazing, and we hope this inspires so many people out there. And you guys remain blessed. May you thrive in your marriage, and may all your heart's desires come to pass. Yeah, and may God bless you with so many children. Wajaze huku bana. But before we wrap this up, we're going to do the game of hit challenge. Yes, so guys, stay tuned for that. We're doing it. Guys are eating chili.